Instructional Materials and Development. I am your presenter for today, Nonilin R. Plaza, Doctor in Development Education student. In today's lesson, we delve into the vital realm of instructional design and its significance in education and training. Within the context of today's lesson, we will explore the four essential components that underpin the art of instructional design. These components include the theoretical foundation of instructional design. Its core is to create a seamless environment where learners can thrive, absorbing knowledge and skills in a well-structured and engaging manner, analyzing learning needs, and setting objectives, which serve as the compass guiding of the learning journey, sequencing and organizing instructional materials, which provide the roadmap for delivering content, and the integration of multimedia and technology, which adds a dynamic layer of interactivity and engagement to the educational landscape. These elements are not mere building blocks, they are the keystones that pave the way for designing learning experiences that are not only informative, but also captivating, ensuring that learners are actively involved and empowered throughout their educational voyage. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the exciting world of instructional design. Let's tackle first the theoretical foundations of instructional design. Instructional design is the process of creating educational materials and experiences that facilitate learning. It involves a wide range of activities, from analyzing learners' needs to evaluating the effectiveness of instructional programs. Understanding the theoretical foundations of instructional design is essential for creating effective educational experiences. By studying the various theories that have been developed over the years, instructional designers can gain insight into how people learn and how to create instruction that is engaging, effective, and meaningful. The first major theory of instructional design is the theory of PF Skinner, which is the behaviorism. Behaviorism is a theory of learning that focuses on observable behaviors and the environmental factors that influence them. According to behaviorism, learning occurs when a stimulus elicits a response, which is then reinforced or punished depending on its consequences. In instructional design, behaviorism can be applied by breaking down complex skills into smaller, more manageable tasks and providing learners with immediate feedback on their performance. For example, a driving instructor might use behaviorist techniques to teach a new driver how to parallel park by breaking down the task into smaller steps and providing feedback on each step until the learner has mastered the skill. Second major theory of instructional design is the design of Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky, which is the cognitivism. Cognitivism is the theory of learning that focuses on mental processes such as attention, perception, memory, and problem solving. According to cognitivism, learning occurs when new information is related to existing knowledge and organized into meaningful patterns. In designing an instructional design, cognitivism can be applied by designing instruction that helps learners make connections between new information and their existing knowledge. For example, a history teacher might use cognitivist techniques to help students understand the causes and the effects of an important historical event by relating it to the events they have already learned about. The third major theory of instructional design is constructivism, by Jerome Broner and John Dewey. Constructivism is a theory of learning that emphasizes the active role of the learner in constructing their own understanding of the world. According to constructivism, learning occurs when learners are actively engaged in creating their own knowledge through exploration and discovery. In instructional design, constructivism can be applied by designing instruction that encourages learners to explore and discover new information on their own. For example, a science teacher might use constructivist techniques to teach students about the properties of different materials by providing them with materials to experiment with and asking them to observe and to record their findings. The fourth major theory of instructional design is connectivism by George Siemens. Connectivism is a theory of learning that emphasizes the importance of technology and social networks in facilitating learning. According to connectivism, learning occurs when learners are able to connect with others and access information from a variety of sources. In instructional design, connectivism can be applied by designing instruction that leverages technology and encourages learners to collaborate with others. For example, an online course must use connectivist techniques to teach students about particular topics by providing them with the access to a variety of resources and encouraging them to discuss and share their ideas with other learners. Why understanding theoretical foundations is essential for instructional designers. Understanding the theoretical foundations of instructional design is essential for creating effective educational experiences. By studying the various theories that have been developed over the years, instructional designers can gain insight into how people learn and how to create instruction that is engaging, effective, and meaningful. Whether you are a teacher, a trainer, or instructional designer, it is important to stay up to date with the latest research and trends in the field of instructional design. By doing so, you can contribute to improve your practice and help learners achieve their full potential. Now, let's move to our next lesson, the lesson 2, which is the analyzing needs and setting objectives. Analyzing learning needs. In analyzing learning needs is a crucial step in instructional materials development. It involves identifying the target audience, assessing their current knowledge and skills, and determining their learning goals. By doing so, you can create materials that are tailored to the specific needs of your audience and making them more effective and engaging. To identify the target audience, consider factors such as age, educational level, and job experience. Assessing their current knowledge and skills will help you determine what they already know and what they need to learn. And finally, determining their learning goals will help you create objectives that align with their needs and ensure that your materials are relevant and useful. What are the methods for analyzing learning needs? So there are several methods of analyzing learning needs, including surveys, focus groups, and interviews. Surveys can be useful for gathering quantitative data on a large scale, while focus groups and interviews allow for more in-depth exploration of participants' perspectives and experiences. When using surveys, it's important to carefully design the instructions to ensure they are clear and unbiased. Focus groups should be kept small to encourage open discussion and prevent any participant from dominating the conversation. Interviews should be conducted in a structured yet flexible manner, allowing for follow-up questions and exploration on unexpected related topics. Setting SMART objectives. SMART objectives are specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and time-bound goals that align with learning needs. So they are important because they provide a clear understanding of what needs to be achieved and how it will be measured. For example, a SMART objective could be, by the end of the module, learners will be able to solve complex mathematical equations using the quadratic formula. So this objective is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, making it an effective tool for improving learning outcomes. Setting objectives. Setting objectives is a crucial step in the development of effective instructional materials. Objectives provide a clear roadmap for both the instructor and the learner, ensuring that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goal. So when setting objectives, it's important to create goals that are measurable and achievable. So this means breaking down larger goals into smaller, more manageable pieces and ensuring that each piece can be evaluated to determine progress. For example, instead of setting a goal like understand the principles of physics, a more measurable and achievable goal might be solve basic physics problems using Newton's laws. By setting clear objectives, learners are able to see their progress and stay motivated to continue learning. Aligning objectives with educational goals. Aligning objectives with educational goals is a critical step in ensuring that learning outcomes are meaningful and relevant. Educational goals provide a framework for understanding the broader context in which learning takes place and help to ensure that learning objectives are aligned with larger institutional priorities. So when aligning objectives with educational goals, it is important to consider both short-term and long-term objectives. So short-term objectives should be aligned with a specific course or program goals, while long-term objectives should be aligned with broader institutional goals. By aligning objectives at multiple levels, educators can ensure that learning outcomes are meaningful and relevant to students' overall educational experience. When setting objectives, consider using Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchical framework that categorizes different levels of cognitive learning. Bloom's taxonomy includes levels such as remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. By considering these levels, you can design objectives that target higher order thinking skills and promote deeper understanding and critical thinking. Analyzing learning needs and setting objectives is also crucial when developing instructional materials. By understanding the target audience and their goals, we can create effective and engaging materials that meet their needs and help them achieve their desired outcomes. Remember, setting clear and measurable objectives is the key to success. By doing so, we can ensure that our materials are aligned with the learning needs of our audience and provide them with a clear path towards achieving their goals. Now to lesson 3, which is the sequencing and organizing instructional materials. In sequencing and organizing instructional materials is critical to student success. When materials are presented in a logical and meaningful way, students are better able to understand and retain information. So this is because their brain processes information in a sequential manner, starting with basic concepts before moving on to more complex ones. Furthermore, organizing materials helps students to see the big picture and make connections between different pieces of information. So So this can lead to deeper understanding and improved problem-solving skills. By taking the time to sequence and organize instructional materials, teacher can create a more engaging and effective learning experience for their students. Sequencing instructional materials is a crucial step in ensuring that students are able to learn effectively. There are several methods or different methods of sequencing materials, including by complexity, relevance, and chronological order. By organizing materials in a logical sequence, teachers can help students build on their prior knowledge and make connections between different concepts. One effective method of sequencing instructional materials is the spiral curriculum approach, which involves revisiting key concepts at increasing levels of complexity over time. So these allow students to deepen their understanding of important ideas and build a strong foundation for future learning. Another useful approach is the chunky method, which involves breaking down complex topics into smaller, more manageable pieces. So this can help students stay focused and retain information more effectively. So, when it comes to organizing instructional materials, there are several methods that can be used to ensure students receive the information in a clear and concise manner. One approach is to organize materials by topic, grouping together related concepts or ideas. So these can help students make connections between different pieces of information and better understand how they fit together. Another method is to organize materials by skill level, providing students with materials that are appropriate for their current abilities and allowing them to build upon their knowledge as they progress. In addition to these methods, organizing materials by learning styles can also be effective. By understanding how different students learn best, teachers can provide materials that are tailored to individual needs. For example, a visual learners may benefit from diagrams or charts, while auditory learners may prefer audio recordings or lectures. And finally, creating clear and concise instructions is essential for ensuring students can easily navigate and understand the materials presented. So what is the impact of sequencing and organizing on student learning? So research has consistently shown that sequencing and organizing instructional materials can have a significant impact on student learning outcomes. When materials are presented in logical and coherent manner, students are able to understand and retain the information being taught. For example, if a teacher is teaching a math concept, they may choose to first introduce the basic principles before moving on to more complex applications. By doing so, students are able to build a foundation of knowledge that they can then use to understand more difficult concepts. Teachers can also assess the effectiveness of their instructional materials by administering assessments or surveys to gauge student comprehension and engagement. So what is the best practices for sequencing and organizing instructional materials? So, when it comes to sequencing and organizing instructional materials, there are several best practices that can help ensure optimal learning outcomes. So first and foremost, it's important to consider the needs and abilities of your students when designing how to sequence and organize materials. So this might involve grouping students by skill level or learning style, or providing multiple options for accessing students. Another key best practice is to create engaging and interactive materials that encourage active learning. So this might involve incorporating multimedia elements like videos or interactive quizzes, or using gamification techniques to make learning more fun and engaging. Additionally, it's important to provide clear and concise instructions that are easy for students to follow. So this might involve breaking down complex tasks into smaller steps or providing visual aids like diagrams or flowcharts or to help students understand the material. Therefore, in conclusion, sequencing and organizing instructional materials is crucial for student success. By carefully planning the order of instruction and presenting materials in a clear and concise manner, teachers can optimize learning outcomes. Research has shown that effective sequencing and organizing of instructional materials can improve student engagement, retention, and overall achievement. By taking the time to thoughtfully plan and organize their materials, teachers can create a more effective and efficient learning experience for their students. And now let's move on to our lesson 4, which is the incorporating multimedia technology in instructional design. Why incorporate multimedia and technology in making our instructional design? So this simply because it can greatly enhance the learning experience for our students. So studies have shown that multimedia can increase retention rates by up to 50%. So this is because multimedia engages multiple senses, making it easier for students to remember information. And additionally, technology can provide opportunities for personalized learning. With the use of adaptive learning software, students can receive individualized instruction based on their unique needs and learning styles. So this can lead to improved academic performance and increased engagement. So, what are the types of multimedia and technology? One type of multimedia that can be incorporated in instructional design is video. Video can be used to demonstrate a process or concept, provide real-world examples, or showcase expert opinions. For example, a video explaining the steps of a scientific experiment can help learners understand the process more easily than reading about it in a textbook. Another type of multimedia that can be effective is interactive media. Interactive media can include simulations, games, and quizzes. These tools can engage learners and provide opportunities for hands-on practice. For instance, an interactive game that simulates a business scenario can help learners apply their knowledge in a realistic setting. One of the main challenges with incorporating multimedia and technology in instructional design is ensuring that all learners have access to the necessary equipment and software. This can be particularly challenging in situations where learners come from diverse backgrounds and do not have equal access to technology. To overcome this challenge, instructional designers can consider using open source software and web-based tools that are accessible to everyone. Additionally, they can provide alternative resources for learners who do not have access to certain technologies. Another challenge is ensuring that multimedia and technology used in instructional design are effective in enhancing the learning experience. It is important to keep in mind that technology should be used as a tool to support learning, not as a substitute for effective teaching practices. To overcome this challenge, instructional designers can conduct research on the effectiveness of different types of multimedia and technology, using this information to inform their design choices. They can also incorporate feedback from learners to ensure that the technology is meeting their needs. Let's see the best practices of incorporating multimedia and technology in instructional design. So one of the best practice for incorporating multimedia and technology in instructional design is to use a variety of media types. These can include videos, images, audio, and interactive elements. By using multiple types of media, learners are more engaged and can better retain information. Another best practice is to ensure that the multimedia and technology used is relevant and directly supports the learning objectives. So it's important to avoid the temptation to add flashy or unnecessary elements just for the sake of using technology. All multimedia and technology should be purposeful and enhance the learning experience. So let's keep this in mind that we have seen the numerous benefits of incorporating multimedia and technology in instructional design, from increased engagement and retention to improved accessibility and flexibility. So these tools can greatly enhance the learning experience for students of all ages and backgrounds. However, it is also important to keep in mind the challenges that may arise when implementing these tools, such as technical difficulties and the need for proper training. By following best practices and utilizing effective strategies, these challenges can be overcome, and the full potential of multimedia and technology can be realized in the classroom. So that ends my presentation. I hope you learned something from it. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.